Hi, folks. Okay. So this week, we're going to look at something that I've titled the video, One Choice Does Not Define You. And it's something that a lot of people find on their weight loss journey. It kind of catches them at some point, catches them out. And it's a tendency to let one small choice become much bigger than it really is. And most of us have noticed how quickly that can happen. And like everything I say on these videos, I'm during the program, the LightMinds program. Don't believe me. Just become aware of it yourself. Just see for yourself. So as you go through the week, have a look at it. Um, so perhaps you're going to eat something that wasn't part of the plan. Um, Maybe you miss a workout. Maybe you skip your morning walk. Now, when you look at them objectively, they're all pretty small events. But then what I want you to notice is how quickly your mind can make a story up about it and what it means. So something happens, an event occurs, and then your mind will attach meaning to it. And that's what I refer to when you hear me talk, maybe in workshops or things like that, is there's the stories. I've blown it. So missing a workout becomes I've blown it. Really? Um, not getting on time to go for your walk, early morning walk. And your mind says, you've ruined everything. And then all of those kind of things, if something goes wrong, I might as well start again next week. Monday is the time I'll start. It's a story. There's no truth in that. And what's really fascinating is that the original choice you made is rarely the thing that causes the lasting problem or the problem that then exists. It's what happens afterwards. That's where the issues come. So imagine you're wearing a clean white shirt. We've all done this. And you accidentally spill a drop of coffee on it, or in my case, um, a bit of wine, red wine particularly. Now, initially, it's only a small mark. But if your immediate reaction is to rub that, then just watch the stain spread. And the mark then becomes much bigger than it ever really needed to be. See, the coffee wasn't really the problem. It was initially, but it's got much bigger than that. You see, it was the reaction to the coffee that then blows things up. And a lot of people, their relationship with food works in exactly the same way. See, if you have one biscuit or you have a sweet, it isn't going to be the problem. You're missing one workout is not a problem. It's the judgment that then follows that. It's the feeling of guilt. It's the criticism. And then it's the things like the decision that you failed. That's where the real damage comes in because you question yourself. And those judgments lead to discouragement, frustration, disappointment. And that's what blows your state of mind up. So then what happens is that one small thing you keep eating. You might keep skipping the workouts, or you make the decision, there's no point in me doing anything till I start next week again. But the original choice you made might have been tiny, but the story you created around it makes it much bigger. And this is one of the things that people notice often in light minds. You see, healthy living isn't actually about making imperfect choices. Being human means we're going to do that. It's the nature of who we are. It's the nature of our journey. It's impossible to be perfect. And anyone who presents themselves in that way is ridiculous. It just doesn't exist. We all have busy days, stressful days. We all have celebrations and holidays and things like that. We all have days when life gets in the way. And that's what life's meant to be like. It's meant to be like that. You see, one of the things where I think people make a lot of mistakes is they try and avoid the imperfect moments. People that are really successful on a sustainable basis over the long term recognize that each moment is separated from the next. One biscuit is just a biscuit. That's it. Full stop. One walk which is missed is one missed walk. Full stop. None of those things have the power to define who you are. None of those things have the power to define where your journey ends up. Only your thinking tells you that. Now, when people begin to see this more clearly, one of the most amazing things that happens is they stop dwelling on the last decision. They stop trying to repair it, make it better. Instead, they simply make the next decision. That's so important. You see, a lot of people, when they make a choice that's not on plan, they try to make up for that. And that's a mistake. You know, say your breakfast goes wrong. I say go wrong, you eat the wrong stuff, whatever. Oh, okay, I'm now going to skip lunch. That's not a good idea. Your body needs it. Or uh, you miss your workout. Okay, I'm going to do an extra hour and the next one. No, that's like punishment. It doesn't help. Your body doesn't need punishment. Just respond to the next, your next meal, your next walk, whatever it is. Just respond to the next opportunity that arises. That's where your future's created. Your future's created in the choices you're now making, not in the ones you've already made. You see, one of the biggest difference between people that are dieting and instead focusing on improving their well-being is where your attention sits. See, in dieting, there's something you have to be doing, you have to be following. So the individual moments tend to get magnified. Every meal can feel like a test. Um, every weighing can be a judgment. Every time you slip up, it's like, I failed. But lasting change comes from seeing the bigger picture. You know, going on a journey, driving from one end of the country to the other. You're going to make wrong turns. You're going to bump into traffic. That doesn't mean you won't reach your destination. You'll just change path and you'll keep going. You don't throw away the whole trip because you've made one wrong turn. Yet with, you know, getting into great shape, people can do that, but you don't need to. The journey is not determined by one choice. It's determined by consistently showing up again. Now, the important thing about that is that's not consistently doing the right things. It's consistently showing up again. That's the important thing. You're defined more by the direction you're gradually heading rather than the things you do from moment to moment. See, when you stop chasing perfection, well, chasing perfection creates pressure. Pressure creates overthinking, and overthinking often leads us away from the healthy choices because we're overwhelmed. Now, as your understanding deepens where your experience comes from and who you are, what you've got going for you, you stop asking things like, how do I undo what I've just done? And instead you ask, okay, what's the next healthy choice I can make right now? They're completely different questions and they feel completely different. One comes from judgment, one comes from having to get things right, the other comes from wisdom. One of those questions will keep your attention in the past, i.e., what's gone wrong. The other brings you back to the present. And the present is the only place you can make the healthy choices. So as you go about the week, why don't you just see what goes on for yourself and see how quickly your mind wants to create stories. But the fact you don't have to do that, you can actually bring yourself to the present moment very, very quickly. You don't need to think about the last decision. That's gone. You just simply need to make the next one. That one single insight is one of the biggest differences for those people that actually achieve lasting success. They're just on the journey, making wrong turns and going again and going again. And that's it. They just recover faster. Thanks very much.